We are live. Let me just make sure that I'm on Go Mode Podcast's Twitch page and not my own. Let's see. Am I live yet? P-Train. Hey, what's going on? Thank you for the confirmation. In that case, I will put my phone away. And let's go ahead with all of the social media pushes. Oh man, this is nerve-wracking. You can't see anything. You can't see anything? You can't see or hear anything. Okay, well... Oh, okay, good. Damn it, Herf. What the hell? Okay. There's no groove to get into, at least not yet, but there will be. Hey, what's going on? Mike is here. Okay, so I just put something on Facebook. Let me hit up Discord. Boom. Oh my god. I'm making such a fuss right now. I'm telling everyone to come listen and watch, and that's terrifying. Herf, I really appreciate that. That means a lot. Especially since you've played through it a lot already, a couple times. Although there's a lot more music than the last time. Hey, here's to being a poopy brain. Okay, so obviously we have a little bit of time until we start. I did say 7:30, and I want to stick to that. Hang on, let me tweet real quick. Okay, and I want to stick to that. I don't want to start early, even though I would like to. But I do want to test out the volume before we start. That would be good. So let's. Let me see. I will just get the pack out. And then some of you are going to get maybe a little bit of a sneak peek, I guess you could sneak listen or whatever you want to call it. But let's just make sure. Checks levels. So this is my voice level, obviously, and then you're going to hear some music start pretty soon. So let me know how this sounds in terms of balance. Test, 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 test. Test, test. 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing. Test. Test, test. Testing. I'll go through one more song too, just so we can test. 1, 2. So I want to be able to be heard when I'm talking, but I want the music to be nice and loud as well. So does it sound like we're doing that? Music could be a little quieter. Okay. Maybe I'll make myself a little bit quieter. Okay. Oh yeah, my mic's all the way up. So we'll just turn that down a little bit. Test, test. 1, 2, 3. Okay. The music. Well, I do want the music to start, but I'm planning on not talking that much. Like, I'm gonna let people just listen at least the first time through each one, you know? Yeah, definitely Chrono Cross. I feel that. Alright, just go ahead and mute the mic and we're good to go. Okay, cool. Well, I'm gonna assume this mix is good. Yeah. Okay, cool. So, awesome. We will come back to that. That was just a little sneak peek, but we'll be back. So I think the way that we're going to go through this is I'm not going to do a seed. I decided that is going to be way too much time. It's going to take too long. There's going to be a lot of repetition, which, I mean, that's just kind of the nature of a rando seed, obviously, a lot of repetition, but especially in the soundtrack. So instead, I just have one of those, like, MSU tester seeds that you can get from Sahabot, thanks to Sinek. And, yeah, Mike, a lot of that is Sibelius, the panning of the instruments. And so I'm going to use that seed, and basically we've got this like check off here. You can see you've got the original song over here on the left from A Link to the Past, and then the number that you see on the left as well is that does correspond with the track number as well, which is like a specific technical kind of factor in all this. So, and then on the right we've got the title of the track that I've replaced it with. And we're just going to go through the game, and I believe, you know, this sort of seed, in fact, I'm pretty sure of it, it will give me access to every kind of, to every one of the tracks. I can go pull Ped. I can, you know, I don't have the Moon Pearl right away. So we'll get to hear everything. And basically, just as we hear everything, the first time we hear it through, I will let it play without talking or making much noise. just playing through the game normally. You'll hear a little bit of sound effects probably. Um, and then once we've played through it, I'll talk about it. Maybe a little bit of like what the process of writing it or what inspired it or whatever. Anything interesting about it. Probably not everyone and not in a bunch of detail, but things that are interesting, especially if we're traveling somewhere and one's just playing over and over. I'll probably talk a little bit about the song in that case, but that's the plan. So we're just going to go through and listen to every one. I imagine it'll take maybe an hour, probably less, honestly. And then my plan is to try to see if we can get done in time to do the 9 o'clock community multi-world at 9 o'clock, because I think it would be fun to play that. And then I'll try out the seed there, and I will release the seed at the end of this too, and other folks can download it, and then you can try it if you want to. Maybe even join us for the multi-world. So that's the plan for this. And yeah, we're just waiting until 7:30 so we can get started. Carlson, what is going on? Long time no see. Yes, it's really happening. I have actually done it somehow. I don't know how. I just wrote and wrote and wrote. I wrote a lot of music. I had a lot of help with babysitting from my wife. I have to say that right now. Shout out. She's not here right now. She is out with a friend pretty much all evening, which made this perfect. And by the way, I've got a baby monitor here. Nella sleeps really, really well. She's an absolute angel, but there is a small chance, maybe like a nat 1 chance, that I have to, the baby starts crying and I have to run out and console her, and then you're just going to be watching a stream of a chair and listening to whatever track happens to be playing at the time while I come back. But like I said, very low chance, probably less than 5% that happens. She normally sleeps like an angel, so no problems or anything. So yeah, I think I've explained the plan. Thank you, Carlson. Yeah, I know what it's like to just be a silent listener to a podcast where it's like, I really like this podcast, but I've never written in. I've never reviewed it. I've never, I'm not on their Patreon. And it's like, well, you can like a podcast without constantly, telling the people that make it like, oh, good job. So I do that all the time. So I appreciate that. I do. Thank you very much. We're still having fun making it, so we're still doing it. So yeah. Let's see what else. What else? Man, it really is crazy. There's more. So let's see. There's 35 tracks and one of them is blank. So there's 34 tracks here. All of them are different. There's no repeats. Actually, that's a lie. I take that back. There are a couple repeats, just the ones that repeat in the A Link to the Past. The Link to the Past. Like, for instance, the cave track shows up 2 times for some reason. And that is, in here twice. Hurf, I did not record myself saying 15, but the track 15 is, I think you'll enjoy it. We're obviously not going to be able to hear it. I guess that's the one exception. You can't hear track 15 because there's just no opportunity for that. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not. I do not have a track 15. I apologize. I'm thinking of the Zelda Rescue track, which you can't hear at all. But I did write something since it is music that exists, and I wanted this to be an exact 1-to-1 replacement. So after the seed is done, help me remember, or hopefully I will, and then I'll just go over to Fubar and we'll play that track for you. So no 15. But we do have another one that's silent. Let's see. I saw some other questions. The most rewarding part of making it is writing like super late at night, getting finished around 12:31, exporting, and then in the morning exporting it and then playing it in the car, driving to work and being like, wow, like hearing it for the first time after walking away for a while is like, oh, you created something and it exists. Like so often, first of all, I just don't write, and then I don't create anything, and that sucks. And then, when you do create something, a lot of times, like, it's just for myself. Maybe I stream it, and then it's gone forever, So being able to write something and then export it and then listen to it, in my car, at work, whatever, it was really gratifying. And so you can probably imagine being at this point where now people can hear all of it, and it's all being released and they can download it. And that's just super exciting. I'm really excited about that. So, yeah. The timp.msu NMG race. Yeah, that way you'll get the Zelda chime. It's 3 seconds long. I think you'll enjoy it. Should be fun. Let's see. I think there were some other questions. Let's see. Super Bowl pick. Oof. I mean, man, uh, the Panthers did so bad this year that I just like really dropped out in like December of paying attention to football to the point where it's literally, let's see, it's going to be hard for me to remember who's playing. The Rams and the 49ers, I think. Okay, yeah, it's the Rams 49ers. So, um, yeah, I guess I would like to see the Rams win just because they haven't won in a long time, right? If I'm not mistaken. So that's kind of cool. It's always cool to see people that are, kind of underdogs do well. So yeah, again, not super excited about it, but at least it's not like the Packers and the Patriots or like two teams that are there all the time. I find that to be really boring. As long as there's teams that like kind of have some personality that you don't see a lot, that's cool to see. That's cool. Let's see. How did you find the OST track listing? Oh, I don't remember. You can Google it. Like Link to the Past soundtrack MSU or something like that would probably get it for you. But yeah, it's a public Word doc or public Google doc that I found somewhere. Let's see. Oh, thanks, Shinmaru. Thanks for stopping in. Really means a lot. People are coming to check it out. It's exciting. Oh boy. I hope there's not a bunch of mistakes. I listened, I spent all day working on it today. I actually took the day off work and worked on it pretty much all day. Again, my wife, absolute superstar for watching the baby the whole time, as if I was working. I spent a long time, making tweaks. I actually finished a couple of the songs today. I actually wrote one of them today. And I did a lot of volume balancing, checking loops. I gotta say, I'm pretty sure there is one where the loop is not going to work exactly right, and that's okay. I'm not going to make a big deal. I'm not going to draw attention to it. You'll probably hear it, and it's all good. But yeah, I spent a long time, tweaking it. I made a lot of tweaks to a lot of the existing songs today, like balancing levels, adding instruments, things like that. So it's exciting. I'm really excited to get it going. We've got just a couple minutes here, and then we can start. There are no tracks that are just track, although I did go listen to that clip today because I was in the MSU channel of the ALTTPR Discord, and somebody posted the Willard clip. Track 15. That's great. All right. Oh, thanks, Obscure Lifeform. I appreciate that very much. We'll see how it goes. I mean, it's weird because some of this I wrote, a year and a half ago, and right after I wrote it, I was really excited about it. Now I kind of take it for granted, but you're going to be hearing all of these things that at one time I was really excited about, So, we'll see how it goes. 7:28. So, okay, 7:29. We're almost ready. It's almost time. Hey, I mean, just because it was track 15 last time doesn't mean I could do it. I could do a track 7 or a track 23 or whatever you want to say. All right. Well, yours says 7:30. Oh, you know what? I think my clock is wrong, actually, which is crazy. I think it is a couple minutes behind. I've noticed that, which is ridiculous. What track was the hardest to conceptualize? That's a really good question. Um, Gillespie Bop is correct. Basque did take a few weeks to kind of get to where we wanted it to be, to get the style right. Hey, Madcap. Let's see. What other one? I wrote a couple different versions of the PED pull before I landed on what we have here. Several changes to the fortune teller song, the shop song, essentially. I completely scrapped the Ganon track and rewrote it. So yeah, there's a few that I tried to be really selective and edit myself as much as possible because that's been something that I've not been good at in the past. So yeah, I tried to really be have high quality with this. Cool. Okay, it is now time to begin. So here's how it's going to start at the beginning. As you can tell, I put a little thought into this. So there's 3 tracks right at the beginning that we're going to hear in quick succession. So of course there's the intro, which replaces the brass fanfare thing that starts at the beginning of Link to the Past, and then there's the like attract mode. No, Greg, over to you, just in time. There's the attract mode that's the usually the da 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 da. It's that part. So you'll hear that. So we'll listen to that one time, and then we'll go into the file select music, and I'll let that play one time. And then we'll talk a little bit about all 3 of those, and then we will talk about what's going to happen, and then we'll start. So without any further ado, here are the first 3 tracks of timp.msu. All right, here we go. Oops, sorry. Right, and that is the loop. Okay, so the first thing that we heard, by the way, let me know if the balance is okay. If it's too loud, I can turn it down a little bit. But the first one we heard, of course, was timp-tro, so we'll mark that one off. And that was, it's timp.msu. We got to kick it off with some timpani. So I just wrote out that, in probably about 10 minutes, just wrote out a little timpani solo. It's another one. There was a version, and then I kind of changed it and wrote it out again, and actually made another tweak to it this morning. Slightly quieter. Okay. I will tweak it down just a little bit. Okay. Cool. All right. Yeah, so timp-tro, not much more to say about it than that. The next one, that was actually written for an indoor percussion ensemble group that I worked with called Nation Ford High School back in 2019. In fact, there's 3 or 4 more songs on the soundtrack that came from that show. I wrote that show in, for the spring of 2019, so I wrote it at the end of 2018. And there were just so many melodies and ideas in there that I really liked, and I was like, I don't think I don't think enough people have heard this music, so I repurposed a lot of it for this, and that intro was one of them. Interesting thing about that intro is that actually you can hear harmonically how it's inspired by what it's based on. The track that it replaces, there's a lot of movement in fourths harmonically, and I guess, I heard that as a kid, and I always loved that track. And, I without even realizing I was doing it, did it, you know, did that same harmonic structure in that track. So I really like how that one came out. And then we have this one. By the way, Daaanty, thank you for the raid. Thanks for joining. We're just getting started, so you're just in time. So this one that you're listening to right now, just a vibe. There's not really much more to say. I just kind of had the idea for it, thought it might sound cool, and wrote it out, just digging how it came out. And it was one of those ones where I was like writing it, and then I was like, this is done, and I just stopped it and I looped it. And so I actually really like the like really strong like hard loop that it does. There's not much fade at all. I actually really like that. I think that's a cool like video game kind of vibe. So it was intentional. By the way, nearly every single track on this MSU pack, you'll notice, does not have a loop point programmed into it. They are all, almost every single one, with the exception of like one. They loop straight back to the beginning, you know, seamlessly, or hopefully seamlessly, close to seamlessly. And that was just because I thought it would make life easier. And I figured if it's good enough for Toby Fox, it's good enough for me. So that's what I did. Cool. All right. So what's going to happen now is one of the things I wanted to do with this pack was standard escape. It sucks, right? But it's cool because it's very similar for a lot of people a lot of the time. It's 6 minutes, more or less, and there's kind of points that you hit along it. So what I wanted to do was write a kind of soundtrack to doing escape. So there's the rain trance music that you're going to hear at the beginning, the rain, storm or whatever. So you're going to hear that at the beginning. And then hopefully if I don't like take a lot of damage and like get held up or whatever, if I'm quick, it will seamlessly move into the escape music, which is called Digital Hero, and that is about a 5-minute long track. And I'm going to go through escape as if I don't have any items, like as if, you know, I was just doing this normally. So I'm not going to use the boots. I'm not going to use my gold sword a whole lot. So I'm going to try to simulate like a normal escape that takes 6 minutes, and hopefully it's just sort of, the music just sort of line up. So when I get to the end of escape, we'll talk again. And yeah, without further ado, I feel like I've been talking a lot, so let me get one sip of beer. And let's go. All right, this is the escape sequence. My headphones came out. I don't even know if that matched up or not. I assume it was somewhat close. It seemed like it was pretty close. So yeah, there you go. Hopefully you noticed there's really only 3 or 4 points that it's supposed to kind of line up. There's, when you get Zelda, it kind of changes to 3-4 instead of 4-4. When you push the throne out of the way and go in the back, it's kind of more like low-key sewer vibes. And obviously at the end it speeds up, and it kind of always seems like you're not going to make it, right? Like every time I'm like, oh man, I messed this up. This is way too... But then like I get there and it's like, oh, it actually worked out. And you actually do get a little bit of, there's like a 10-second fade out or so that gives you a little bit of time. So yeah, so that is that. And then you hear just kind of some landing music. My inspiration for this was like when you get off of a thrill ride or like a roller coaster, and like they're playing music, they're like pumping music, or whatever, in kind of. Okay, so let's mark off some of the ones that we have heard. Let's see, Digital Hero and Rain Trance. There's that one. Oh, there it is. Oh, I already marked it, even though I shouldn't have. That means that there was one. Oh, File Fountain. There we go. Okay. All right, and then there's the other File Fountain. Cool. I opened the chest for you, Daaanty. Okay, cool. Next up, you're gonna hear the overworld theme. Obviously, this is a big deal because it replaces, one of the most popular video game songs of all time. Maybe just most popular songs. So yeah, a lot of pressure, but I put a lot of thought into it. I hired somebody to help me out with the melody, and I feel really good about how it turned out. So now I'm gonna let you hear one full playthrough of Get Up and Get It. So yeah, that is a man playing the saxophone. That is not a saxophone sound. And it's funny that you bring that up because I spent such a long time trying to simulate a saxophone, and I was just, it was not close. Or actually, it was kind of close, but it was not there. And I finally was just like, I have to get a professional in here to make a real saxophone sound happen. So yeah, this is Get Up and Get It. The name, yeah, it was like a kazoo sound basically. It's this weird like thing I found on Twitter that turns your voice into a saxophone. It was like using AI. It was wild. The guy playing sax, crap, I meant to get his information up before we started so that I could say his name. While you listen to him, I'm going to open up app. So yeah, so this is actually a second time through, and the solos are a little bit different. As you know, I use different takes for the second time. That's the best part, and he improv'd it. I was like, man, that is the coolest line, and I'm definitely gonna put it in my song, but I didn't write that part. He did. I'm sorry, Will Shade. His name is Will Shade, and I found him on Fiverr. Check him out. He's on Twitter. He's great. He's great. So yeah, that's that one. Moving on. Josh, I would say no, there are still tweaks to come. This is not the final version, so I would love for people to send suggestions for tweaks and things like that to me, like on Discord, because yeah, I'm definitely there's gonna be more rounds of this. Okay, real quick, next is the Woods music, and then I think we'll go pull pet. So just a short little marimba solo kind of sounding track. And let's pull bed. Nice. Oh man, I forgot you can't kill these ones. Alright, let's continue on. Not much to say about that one. Yeah, it's a run. I used to write a lot of marimba runs. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, CAC music coming up. So I wanted to make this a variation on the main theme. And also it has the best title of any single song on the soundtrack. It's the Gamble Jam. Oh. So yeah, I forgot that was going to happen. But yeah, so this is the cave track. So yeah, anyway, back to Gamble Jam. and that's a loop. So yeah, Cable Jam. I like that. I really was proud of the that the like right hand of the electric piano does. I thought that was cool. Cool. All right, and now so everyone knows when you run into the snitch lady, it sucks, right? In Rando, it sucks. So let's write the music to make sure that we get across the point that it sucks. You know, let's just call it what it is. Okay, let's mark some of these out. Oh, shop. So yeah, that was one of the fun things about writing this, is like the way that we hear the music as Rando players is totally different than how the original composer, Koji Kondo, intended it for playing the game, right? So there are songs that are really short that we hear a lot, and there are songs that are really long that we don't get to hear at all. So this, I tried to kind of correct that as much as possible. You know, songs that are long are the ones that you hear a lot. Songs that are short are the ones that you don't hear very much at all. That being said, here is the shop tune. I'm really happy with how this came out. Let's hit some box. So yeah, that is me playing stylophone. And that is a lullaby, or like a little song that I came up with for my daughter called "Barking Up a Storm," and now it's in this. Now it's in the track. So there you go. Okay, and while we were listening to that, I caught up on some of the tracks, so I have a pretty good idea of what we still need to do. We have a lot to do. Let's go get our moon pearl so we can do some more stuff. Oh yeah, and then I made it sound like it's like a tinny radio or whatever. Yay! Alright, good. Oh, first we're gonna hear bunny music, right? Okay, so you're gonna hear bunny music now. Oops. Oh yeah. Yeah, so when you're playing Rando, being a bunny is not awkward and weird. It's like, oh shit, here we go. And it's like, so I wanted to be like, you know, getting ready to like go on a mission or something like that. And spoiler alert, you may or may not hear this bass line again later. All right, so you heard the mirror music. The mirror music, and we also heard bunny music. Derms, that's the yeah. Okay, and I believe this is a crystal dungeon, so let's go ahead and make our way up here as soon as we wait for this bedrock that I put here for some reason. And we'll do this dungeon, and then, so you're gonna hear dungeon music, boss music, fanfare, and the next music, the like little fade out thing or whatever after that. So here we go. Pendant. We are looping. So yeah, to answer your question, this is Crystal Pendant. If I ever did like another album, like a sequel to this, I would probably do each individual. That is a distinct possibility one day. And Malmo, I'm glad you picked up on the Mass Effect vibes. Oh, I would say there's probably 5 or 6 tracks that are totally sci-fi inspired, because I listen to a lot of that like sci-fi ambient music. So yeah, this is definitely one of those tracks. This was also written for the indoor drumline show that I mentioned before. It was a space show, so that explains that, right? Carlson, there will be adjustments. There will be new versions released to this where the volume is tweaked and things like that. Issues are fixed, improvements are made, etc., etc. Okay, next we're coming up on the boss music, and then you'll hear fanfare and the what's next music. Celebration, Contemplation. Alright, there it is. So it went more menacing rather than like fast, That was also written for the Indoor Drumline show. Cool. That's that. So yeah, shout outs to Gillespie Bop in the chat for laying down those trumpet parts for me. Mr. Mike Gillespie. He is a professional trumpet player with a storied career. I was honored to have him play on the track. You might hear him later on as well. Alright, let's see, what is next? I guess, I will go to the Dark World and we will hear the Dark Mountain. That will be next. So we got a lot just now. We knocked out 4. Oh, that track, the boss track, by the way, called Blackum, as in the Blackum chorus, All right, here comes War Planet. It starts out nice and loud, so get ready. Oh, okay. This is Alien World. Different track. This is the Dark World music. I have 7 crystals. Yep. background at the beginning. So yeah, that one was also for that indoor drumline show. Yeah. And that was also one of the earliest ones. I think I wrote that maybe in 2019. I can't exactly remember, but that one is I wrote it in 2018 for the drumline, right? Like fall of 2018. And then I actually wrote it out for this project in like summer of 2019, I think. And it's kind of just been sitting there ready to go. It was one of the first ones I finished of this pack. So, okay, so let's see. We need to go to a pendant dungeon. So let's go ahead and fly. I think Eastern is one, right? So let's go ahead and head there. And then I think we can go to the Dark World Forest and hear the War Planet that way. By the way, thank you so much for everyone who's saying super nice things. Also, everyone who's offering constructive criticism, feedback. I'm gonna read through all of this afterwards to check that out. Okay, here's the pendant music. We're back to the beginning. So that was pretty long. And yeah, the deal with that one is I wrote it actually for a student project of a fellow alumni of the University of South Carolina. I got an email in the composers listserv saying that they were looking for people to help them write music for a graphic novel a video game that they were making. And this is Omar's theme from that game that's probably never going to come out. So I repurposed it for this pendant theme because I spent a lot of time on it. I really liked how it came out. A lot of Haikyuu soundtrack influences to it. And thank you everyone for the comments. Definitely agree. You know, probably needs to be leveled out a little bit. PJ, I think it's a vibraphone that you're picking up on, and yeah, the pedal's down, so it comes through real thick. So I might look at that for V2. All right, let's move her out of here. Okay, so let's see. We need to go do AGA. So you'll hear a little bit more Digital Hero, and then you'll hear the pre-AGA song. And I guess that's really all we're doing it for. If it makes you feel any better, the pre-AGA song is good. You'll like it. It's good. It sounds cool. Yeah, Esper, glad you picked up on that. Definitely like Danganronpa was kind of my point of inspiration there, where it's like kind of chill vibes, sort of longer. It's got a melody, kind of emotional sounding a little bit, you know. So yeah, that was my investigation's a great word for it, you know. All right, let's murder these fools. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure he's alive. So, we'll just... Oh yeah, I didn't do that. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, enjoy the music. Whatever. Yeah, I was a little concerned with how this would play, you know, because when I wrote Digital Hero, I was writing it to escape. I wasn't thinking about this at all. But it turned out okay. I like the part that it basically ends at. It works okay. If you use this MSU pack, you'll hear them a lot. You know, Crystal Dungeon, Overworld, etc. Dark World. I tried. I mean, the first rule for every song was like, make sure it sounds good. You know, like make it something that you would actually want to listen to, or that you think fits really well with, you know, the moment. Okay, here comes the tension music. So I kind of ended up using that as a theme. This one, the bum bum. It's kind of a theme throughout a lot of the. You'll hear that with a lot of the AGA music. It was all through, you know, Digital Hero. The post-crystal music references that. It does that same thing. Bum bum, and there is. You'll hear a part of Ganon's track that does that too. So yeah, I kind of tried to establish. Oh my god, this is terrible. A theme of like, you know, a theme. A theme, basically. Like, anytime there was something involving like main story, like AGA, Ganon, Hyrule Castle, I would use that, that theme that you hear. This is awful. These blue balls. Why? Why do we need to do this? We already heard the one track. Yeah, it would be great if I could just stab him. Yay! Alright, what do we still have to do? Okay. So we are going to go to the... We need to hear War Planet, the Dark World replacement, and the Guessing House game music. And then we're going to climb and finish the game. And then there's a bunch of music at the end of the game we can listen to. By the way, again, just a huge blanket thank you to everyone for hanging out, listening. If you're lurking and just checking out the tracks, I'd super appreciate you. If you're, you know, commenting along, I appreciate you. Just really appreciate everybody being here. All right, War Planet. It's nice and loud. Oh, dang, it's not going to play because I have all 7 seconds. Well, I'll just play it at the end. How about that? I will, because I have to do that for that track 25 anyway. So we'll hear it at the very end. And I'm going to... Oh, I know what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go to Big Game right now. So you can hear the guessing game music. I timed it out to be exactly 30 seconds. So that it ends right when the shovel game music ends, or right when the shovel game ends. So that's next. There you go. And then it does, so I don't know if you heard, but it ends on a G major chord, so it loops back to the beginning. No, I think it was a cello. Okay, now we're going to go to the end of the game. DWM's guessing 22 in the chat. Reasonable. 0. I like Dr. Earworm's chances. Kind of like forgot how to play Rando a little bit while I'm doing this. Dark World Overworld mix, you think it's a little louder? Alright. Yeah, I can definitely make it softer. Okay, so as you can tell, I did kind of a one-to-one of all of the songs to replace them. Of course, you can do different tracks for different dungeons, and I could have done that, but it would have taken a very long time. But there was one dungeon that I felt like I had to write new music for, specifically one part of one dungeon. So what you're going to hear next is called The Gauntlet. But yeah, definitely want to get some real horns in here. I literally just got the like gumption to do this because like I was like, okay, no, I'm not gonna be able to write a whole new dungeon track. This is like earlier this week. I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to write it. And then I started to write the bunny theme with the bass thing, and then I wrote the drum set part going into it. And I was like, okay, this track can't be just like 8 seconds long. It needs to be longer. And so I was like, well, let's just get it done. And so I wrote this. But yeah, definitely not enough time to get live musicians to play on it. Ironically, though, I wrote trumpet and sax, and those are the other two like live instruments to be here. So I totally agree. It sounds kind of bad by comparison that way. I will definitely have some real horns in V2, so be on the lookout for that. Before it hits Spotify, the horns will be real. I fell. Probably a little bit of a smoother loop as well. I might just get over myself and do an actual loop instead of trying to loop it from the beginning like I was talking about. Because it really needs like a little organ in the last word, you know? Let's see. I think the drums could use some echo as well. But yeah, like I said, I mean, I started this song on Monday. So. Alright, so you're getting ready to hear Stinger, which is just a little, you know, stinger. That's exactly what it is. That's why I named that. And then that will take us into the pre-Ganon music, and then the Ganon music. Oh God, I need to focus up. I'm aiming at the wrong guy. I'm really not paying attention. Sorry about that, everybody. I'll do a better job. Bad. I'm aiming at the wrong guy again. Why am I playing so bad? I'm not even like tilted at this point. I'm nervous or anything. Alright, there we go. There you go. I wrote that this morning. Alright, so now we have the pre-Ganon music, and then Ganon fight. So this is just like a drum roll, fake drums. And then, whenever we're ready to get started. Yeah, I messed up the loop on this one. Sorry about that, everybody. So yeah, this one, I think it also needs to be louder. But the idea is, you know, I wanted to pay homage to my drumline days. I've written a lot of cadences in my days, so I wanted to bust one out for this. I thought Ganon would be a good place for it. And then the idea kind of beyond that is to sort of reference a lot of the drum beats you've heard throughout the seed. So you're hearing, this is that theme I was talking about before, that's like boom, boom, ba-da-da-da, yeah, you know. This is Digital Hero right here. Next you hear the cave theme. And then you hear the kick from the pendant theme as well. But yeah, I think it needs to be a little louder as well. It's kind of quiet, right? Sounds like it's me at least. So yeah, work in progress on that one. Alright, so now we're about to hear a lot of music in a row. So we're gonna hear Bask, which is like you just beat the game and you're chilling music. Then we're gonna hear your like congratulations you did it music, and that's gonna go straight into the staff roll, or sorry, the epilogue. That is a medley of jazz trio pieces I've written that are arrangements from the original Link to the Past soundtrack. A lot of them I originally wrote for the podcast to use as bumper music. It just so happened I had exactly enough basically to fill out the like 7 or 8 minutes I needed. So that is everything you're going to hear all the way until the end. So here we go. There you go. So yeah, we're just chilling. We're just basking. That's why it's called Bask. Cool thing about that flam at the end, I actually messed up the loop, and that's the end of it. You know, that's like a snare drum at the end of the track, and then the one at the beginning. But it just sounds really cool. Like it's a little pause and like a really fat flam. So I left it. I think it's cool. So yeah, there we go. All right, let's start the medleys. Triforce Room. It's from this game. Yeah. This is probably my favorite one. Wrote this about a year ago. Blue Moon. You don't get to hear the part after this very often. I know, it's all digital. It's all fake. I made it all up. Thank you, B-Train. Shout out Smelmo. Made my favorite Sprite. Hey, there she is. Okay, so I kind of ran out of music, jazz music, so I had to kind of dig deep into the archives.
Y'all looking for mids?
And then, yeah, you've heard this music before. Okay. So then this just plays twice and then it fades out and then that's the end. Oh, maybe that would be funny. Yeah, so that is pretty much it. I have a couple more tracks to share with you. We never get to hear War Planet, so I'll play that for you real quick. And then I will play track 25, which you normally don't hear when you play Rando, but I would love to share it with all of you. So, all right. Well, I guess, yeah, again, it just plays again. And then if you want to hear that, listen to any episode of the podcast where Tuesday Timp is there. Okay, next up, let me get out Foobar so that we can listen to track 13. So you're not going to be able to see anything here. It's just going to be all audio. This is Dark Mountain. And the Skullwoods too. Nice. Shout out to Joe Braha in the chat. And then the last one, this is track 25. There's no way to actually hear this, but if you're doing like an MSU randomizer or something, it could definitely pop up and loop a bunch of times. And it will loop. I'm not going to let it loop, but it does loop if you want it to. All right, here we go. Track 25. Everyone get ready. There you go. It's track 25. Do you want to hear it one more time? Let's do one more time. I mean, no one's going to hear it anyway, right? Who cares? Yeah, there's a fart in there. I did a little fart. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you know what? It's me going. You should hear the original. It's like, I just did that clean like 5 times. I was like, like tried different like types, like longer ones and shorter ones and stuff. It was I was living the dream in that moment, I would say. Cool. Okay. Hey, everybody who checked this out, thank you guys so much for hanging out. This was a ton of fun. You made me feel really good about all the work I've put into this. You gave me a lot of good feedback to put into V2. Really excited to I guess like what's the word I'm trying to not like pump up. I'm trying to elevate more of the tracks, right? Get more more musicians playing on them, mix them a little bit more, refined. So yeah. Oh yeah, the link. Here's the last thing. So I'm going to play the 9 o'clock multi-world in the Go Mode podcast Discord. If any of you would like to play with me, I would love to see you there. It's going to be a lot of fun. It always is. I'm going to be using timp.msu and possibly streaming as well. And I would encourage anyone who wants to play to check it out because I'm about to make the link live right now. So let me do that. I have already written the post, so I should just be able to do update. So if you go to... Oh, look, you can see my WordPress. Perfect. So if you go to gomodepodcast.com/timp-msu, you should see a link. And if you don't, you should hit Shift F5, and hopefully that will refresh the page. And then there you go. Enjoy it. I really, I'm just so thankful that folks are listening to it. If anyone has any feedback after playing it, absolutely let me know. The goal from now is to take a break, not write for like a week or two, maybe. Get some more family time in. My wife has been doing a lot of babysitting. I owe her, so take a little bit of break from writing, and then put in some of these tweaks, and then ultimately the plan is to loop each of them once and then fade them out, and then send those versions to Spotify, and then have an album on Spotify of music. And then there's plans from there, but that's the next steps. So awesome. Have a good Friday night, everybody. Again, thank you so much for hanging out. Enjoy the music. Let me know your thoughts. And I hope I see you in the multi-world coming up soon. Bye, everybody.